bad news for CHUD. He's absolutely fried. 2 different defense attorneys have given their assessment on this CHUD situation, and both have said his self-defense argument is not gonna hold up well in court. And if that's not bad enough, this idiot that CHUD has appointed as his official spokesperson while he's sitting in jail trying to get a bond, this idiot has decided it was wise, get this, to start a harassment campaign against a city official, an official city official. This idiot has asked CHUD supporters to harass a city official who had negative comments to say about CHUD. And he's doing this while CHUD is trying to get his bond lowered, while CHUD is trying to go to court and prove that he can be let back into society and he's not gonna be a threat to anybody. Oh, nah. I'm kind of happy that CHUD got these people in charge of his affairs because it makes our job a whole lot easier. So
exactly.
The city employee that CHUD and his spokesperson has launched a harassment campaign against is Commissioner David W. Shelton, I should say. Now, they are harassing him because he posted this about CHUD. Now, he goes, racism is evil. Racism is vile. Racism is utterly stupid. You will think there's not a human being alive who would disagree with this, but apparently CHUD and his minions disagree with this. So he goes, the reason racism is so astronomically stupid is simple. As Illinois' governor said a few years ago, you can always tell an idiot by their cruelty. And cruelty is exactly what a coward like Dalton Etherly, aka CHUD, employs in his frequent attempts to incite violence by saying the most idiotic and racist things possible around black people. And yesterday, a fight broke out between the stupidest man in Clarksville and another man just outside the courthouse. CHUD shot the man during the scuffle and ended up shooting himself in the process. The victim was life frightened and still fighting for his life. Last report I heard is that he is stable and I pray he recovers. CHUD, though, now sits in the Montgomery County Jail with multiple felony charges. Stupid, idiotic, racist, and none of this should have gotten to this point. Nope. Frankly, I am convinced we have been witnessing a mental collapse over the last few months as well, hold on, bro. Let's not do that.
Say mental. Yeah.
Now I understand the good commissioner. I understand, right? You know, you an ally, but let's not start putting out mental health excuses out there. We don't want CHUD to have any excuses for trial. We don't want for him to come to trial and say, yo, honor his mental health for suffering. Hold on, bro. You an ally, so you get a pass, but let's not start throwing that out there now, bro. Let's not give him any wise ideas. They go, CHUD grew more bold with each passing day, even leading to charges being filed in Nashville. But this is what racism does. It's a cancer. It eats away at the soul of a human to the point that they will do real harm to their fellow man just because they're different. It is as evil as it vile, and it's up to those of us that are white to say so. We have stopped coddling the notion that some people are inferior based on their melanin count. It's a lie. CHUD's official spokesperson posted a mugshot from the city commissioner. Now, he was arrested for being held in contempt of court back in 2024. They posted a mugshot, and they're now alleging that he's 100% a pedo, 100%, based off a mugshot for a contempt of court. You see how these people just lie so easily and effortlessly, right? Do you witness this?
Right.
Now, he puts, let's start digging, calling out CHUD's audience, CHUD supporters, to start prying and digging into this dude's personal life and harassing him. They're even claiming victory in their harassment campaign. They posted, we got the commissioner to turn off comments from factual posts calling him out politely. He doesn't get to play victim. He looks like a bitch. His entire voting block saw it happen. Excellent work. They think this is gonna play out well for CHUD. In fact, I'm not even giving them some good advice. Keep doing it and see how that plays out well for CHUD. See how well this play out when CHUD tries to get another bond or when CHUD tries to get his bill reduced. See how this play out. Harassing a city official on behalf of CHUD. Oh my, all these people can be this stupid. According to attorneys and people who actually know the law, he has a great deal to overcome to actually be found not guilty in this case. and he's just making it worse for himself,
Making
man.
it worse, yep.
All right. So here is the legal mindset. He is an attorney on YouTube, and he gave his opinion on CHUD and his possibility of being in this case. And he don't think it looks good for CHUD. He actually thinks it looks pretty grim.
With the Montgomery County charges, he's facing up to 60 years behind bars just for the attempted homicide alone.
Damn.
Now, the other 3 charges can stack up, and those can add to potentially decades behind bars. The real thing that will get him is the mandatory minimum. If CHUD the Builder is hit with all of those charges, he will absolutely be locked away for a very, very long time. Now, let's look at the self-defense analysis, because this is the real debate. The real debate is
CHUD the stud. We got CHUD the stud on the burner.
Was this self-defense? Now, Tennessee has a stand your ground law. So in Tennessee, it requires 4 things: lawful presence, lawful conduct, reasonable belief of the need for force, proportionality, and no initial aggressor. So you have to have all of those things. And this is an affirmative defense. So if the prosecutors can actually knock out one of these elements, just one of these things, he's guilty, because you have to admit that you did it. You have to say, I shot the guy, but here's my defense. So if they knock out your defense, all you're left with is, I shot the guy. That's literally all that's left of that analysis. So when you actually apply that to CHUD's case, there's some arguments pro and against CHUD. First of all, he's in a public place where he had the right to be. So the lawful presence, lawful conduct, we're going to assume that it doesn't appear at the time CHUD was committing a crime, although we'll have to see how the ultimate facts play out and all the reports happen. We also have claims from CHUD's side that Joshua Fox actually punched first. And if you combine this with, once again, reports of him being the stalker, of him following him, etc., then he might say, okay, this is the person who provoked this, the person who started this. But that's not where the analysis ends, and you do have to look at the other elements, such as proportionality and reasonableness.
The racist supporters got pump faked in the first half. They was listening and they thought, okay, we finally found at least one attorney who can tell us that CHUD's coming home. But if they kept on listening, then they would hear he actually said the opposite. He doesn't believe that CHUD is going to win this case for these 2 reasons. Now, when you want to claim self-defense, you have to meet 4 burdens, and he just listed it out. But the last 2 is where CHUD fails. Proportionality and not the initial aggressor. CHUD was the bigger guy. So if you got punched for agitating somebody, punch him back, right? Beat him up.
Right.
Pulling out a gun and shooting at him with a lot of people around. That's not proportionality at all. 2, you cannot be the initial aggressor. CHUD walked up to them. According to CHUD confessed.
And then he lied. No, he didn't. He lied. He lied and said he didn't. He lied and said he walked beside him, and then they got on his ass, and then he walked off. Shut the fuck up, bitch. That ain't how it happened. You fucking stud.
That he seen them looking at him or laughing and pointing, and he walked up to them.
Just like a stud, a lie, say some stupid ass shit. Lying like a mother, you lying son of a bitch.
He initiated the conflict. He called them the N-word with the hard R. So if CHUD was the aggressor and the force was not proportioned, CHUD is going to lose this case for a fact, right? Now, where CHUD really gets effed up at, there's our mandatory minimums. Even if CHUD gets the mandatory minimum, he's going to be in jail for a couple of decades.
And I think this is where you might have some trouble. Now, another factor is to argue the anti-CHUD side, the arrest warrant, where we actually have the facts. And mind you, there were over 100 witnesses there that day. So there were many, many people watching this, observing this, and they were looking at this and saying, okay, what happened here? And getting that into the police report. So looking at what was actually written down, it states that he escalated. The belated stance and reaching for the gun, that's going to be escalation under a stand your ground self-defense analysis. So that's not going to look good. Also, it generally does not look good when you have non-deadly force, a punch, versus deadly force of multiple shots. Now, before anybody gets out there and goes crazy, yes, punches can sometimes be something you respond to deadly force with. For example, if someone's punching you in the head, that can be treated as deadly force, and you can respond accordingly. However, in general, for example, if you're just getting body punched or it's just a regular punch, typically a regular punch is something that you don't respond with a gun, and that's proportionality, right? So if your response is above the level where it should be, that's going to be failing a self-defense analysis. If someone punches you, typically you'd punch them back. That's a fist fight. You get in a fist fight. You're not drawing a knife or a gun or something else in that scenario.
Right.
Now, the other thing is the bystanders. The bullets were ricocheting and going around, and that goes to the reasonableness of him pulling out his gun and firing multiple shots at Joshua Fox, because they're going to look at that and they're going to say, is that a reasonable use of force? Did he use more force than was necessary in this scenario? The other factor, which I think is massive and I do think plays into the overall analysis, particularly reasonableness, is the fact that he was live streaming and that he had a documented history of confrontations. So he was live streaming to get the rage bait. That's why he exists on the internet. That's what he does. That's how he makes his money, is by getting people to rage. And because of that, you can see that when combined with the history, combined with other things he's done, as showing, hey, this guy was trying to provoke this, and this was the natural, in fact, even reasonable, expected outcome was for this type of thing.
This is such common sense. This is like such a common sense way of putting it that I can't even begin to fathom why CHUD supporters think that he's the victim. I don't even understand this. This is not a free speech issue. Of course it's not, right? No. This is an issue about agitating somebody, then pulling out a gun and shooting them when they respond to your agitation.
And then after they respond to your agitation, then you saying, "Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. This how they act." No, it ain't, gang. You went. No, that's not how they act, bro. That ain't how they act. Motherfucker wasn't even thinking about you. They don't even know you like that. Only your community know you like that. Nobody knows you for real. You're a lame. Nobody knows you for real. You're a lame. I don't get it. What we talk about?
Wow. Now imagine showing videos of CHUD. Now, even if you want to say these are conservatives who are in Tennessee, they're about to put a bunch of conservatives on a jury. Imagine showing a bunch of conservatives, CHUD, going around calling black people the N-word with the hard R, trying to initiate conflict, trying to start trouble, and then have them decide, hey, from this interaction where CHUD called his black man the N-word outside of the courthouse and an altercation broke out and CHUD shot him, you have to now make a judgment on whether or not CHUD is the initial aggressor by making a judgment call on, do you believe that CHUD intention when walking up to that black man and calling him the N-word was to agitate him and start a conflict?
The tabs you open here are also here. Choose Chrome to share tabs across devices. EVE Online is a vast...
What do you think they are about to decide? After they sit in court and see hours and hours and hours of footage of CHUD going around antagonizing black folks, right, and then threatening to harm them and shoot them if they react. Imagine what they're about to, man, all right, man, bro, he cooked. Now, his delusional, brain-dead fans still think he has hope. I don't think he has hope at all. Unless they just put a bunch of racist, like conservatives, on that jury and just have them just get them off scot-free, that's the only way.
Happen. Here's my judgment. Based on all of the warrants and all we have for the affidavits and all the evidence we've gotten from the actual government, I think CHUD's self-defense argument is likely to lose. I also think that a jury of normal people, even conservative people in conservative Tennessee, most normal people that are not internet brained are going to look at this and say, yeah, CHUD, you went beyond what was reasonable. The force you used here was beyond reason. His other actions while live streaming also deserve jail time. You have to look at the totality of what he is doing, going into private businesses and trying to tell them what to do, to dictate what they do, to be disorderly, be disruptive. All these things deserve punishment because people will come out and copycat these things. People will see these actions, see the virality, see the news, and they will try to be the next Johnny Somali, Chud the Builder, etc. They will do
Chud the stud, not Chud the builder. Chud the stud.
these things absolutely. And if there is not a harsh punishment for nuisance streamers, there's going to be an infinite amount of copycats tomorrow. And part of the law is to disincentivize this behavior, to say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't be doing this. And I think Chud definitely needs some prison time in this case. The other factor I'll point in at the end here is his bail was set at $1.25 million, and he did have a absolute hilarious reaction to that.
You will hear all of this, right? You will hear all of this evidence, all of this. And then the Chud sickle fans, right? The dweebs, they would come on social media and act like they can somehow save Chud. I've seen a space with the other racists, right? And Alex Rosen. He starts telling people, hey, man, if y'all was watching the Chud live stream, y'all please come forward and tell the police what you heard. As if the police don't got footage and video of everything already. These folks really think they can save Chud. Chud is over. He's done. Finado, over.
Have to get together and get this guy out of jail for real. Like, to do it by telling the truth, do it by contributing a little bit. But man, I'm serious, pro. If y'all saw that live stream, write a statement to his lawyer and come testify against this. Like, you know, do this lawfully. But man, come on, guys. That person should not have any victory party, bro. I will literally prioritize this for even catching the pedos, because that pissed me off, man.
Well, Alex, I mean, I think you of all people have seen how bad the justice system can fail. Like, we've seen literal chomos with like 4K evidence just walk free because of a lazy piece of garbage cop. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because they don't want to write a report. So
you think they're lazy? You think it's laziness?
Oh no, in this case it's the opposite. It's just outright I don't know, treason to, like, you know, you know, disregard the Constitution. But
do the minimum thing you need to do to keep your job.
You know how many
y'all cannot get this man out the nonsense he's in, bruh. It's over with. It's done. Sorry, Finado. Okay. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? All right. How do y'all feel about Chud's chances? I think it's over with. I think it's grim, right? But
me too.
Let me know what y'all think, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen to find out about the horrifying Blueface allegations that surfaced this morning. I'm going to see you guys in this Blueface video. Send me a hype by clicking the hype button if you really want to support. That's the best way to show support. And I see everybody who sent me a hype, so please send me a hype. I'm going to see you guys in this Blueface video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
The woke trans lobby has an ally in Nancy Mace.
I'm pro transgender rights.
Anyways, yeah, he's cooked. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can do all the raises you want to do. Your ass can raise $500,000 if you want to. That shit's dead. It's over with. His ass is booked. His ass is booked. And raising $1 million don't even show me. That really don't even show me what the world is, because I already know what the world is. You know what I'm saying? It should have been a $4 million bond. Then now let's see how much money they're gonna raise for you. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. Give them a $5 million bond. See how much they're gonna raise then. Yeah, that's gonna show me what's up. Well, $1 million, of course, man. $1 million ain't shit. $1 million ain't shit to raise. It's billions of people on this earth, bro. You know what I mean? It's billions of people on this earth. $1 million in the world where it's billions of people ain't shit. $1 million is nothing to a billion people. To not even, and it's like 3 or 4. So I mean, 3 or 4 billion people. You know what I mean? $1 million that ain't shit, man. That's like literally a pebble. It's like a pebble, gang. You know what I mean? That's like a pebble in this shit. That ain't nothing. You know how many millionaires it is in the world? Should we fact check? Should we let Google lie to us? Let's let Google lie to us. Watch this. Watch this. there are approximately 60 million millionaires in the world, representing about 1.5% of the total global adult population. You know what I'm saying? This shit so small. It's so minuscule. You know what I mean? It's so minuscule. And China, US is 24 million individuals, roughly 40% of the global total. So okay, US got the most millionaires though, apparently. China 6.3 million, France 2.8 million, Japan 2.7 million, Germany 2.6 million. And it's probably a little bit higher than that because a lot of people millionaires don't put their money in the bank and still big time drug dealers and everything else. So it's probably a little bit higher than that. All these numbers are especially China. I know for sure China is way higher than that. They got so much illegal shit going on down there. It's a shame. So I know China is high as fuck. So these numbers are probably a little bit higher than this. But I mean you know what I mean? What I'm trying to show you, bro. It ain't this shit is a pebble to what's going on. You know what I mean? This shit small, it's minuscule. So nah, bro. Nah. Ain't